are the stakes.
The U.S. is doing far better than any other country when it comes to testing.
Yes.
These 9 people in this country, 126 cases are reported. That's across 16 states. That's all new today.
Why does that matter? Why is this a global competition to you if every day Americans are still losing their lives?
Well, they're losing their lives everywhere in the world. And maybe that's a question you should ask China. Please.
I just wanted to let my colleague finish,
Okay.
but can I ask you
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
America and American democracy is facing the biggest threat it has faced in history. An internal threat to our democracy. One political party of this nation is committed currently to destroying everything that's been built up over almost 248 years.
But are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups and to say that they need to stand down and
Call him. Give me a name. Give me a
white
name.
supremacists and
Who would
white
you like me to condemn?
white supremacists and right
Proud
militia?
Boys, stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what. Somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left.
This party has signaled repeatedly and even made actions insofar as getting Roe v. Wade overturned through 3 appointments of conservative Supreme Court justices under the Trump administration to ban abortion across the nation.
Abortion rights, especially since I was proudly the person responsible for the ending of something that all legal scholars, both sides, wanted and, in fact, demanded be ended. Roe v. Wade.
And it doesn't matter that Trump says that he wants this decision to be left up to the states, because there are members of the House of Representatives in the Republican Party who have signaled repeatedly that what they want to seek is a national ban. A party that has signaled repeatedly a fundamental lack of belief in the science surrounding climate change.
I've seen it, I've read some of it, and it's fine. Yeah, I don't believe it. No, I don't believe it.
When confronted with the threat of school shootings, their response isn't common sense gun legislation to restrict people who shouldn't have guns from having them and being able to use them to harm people. Their response? Arm teachers.
I will ask Congress to repeal totally ineffective legislation that makes it harder to protect our schools and easier for criminals to face absolutely no opposition. I will also create a new tax credit to reimburse any teacher for the full cost of a concealed carry firearm and training from highly qualified experts. Who's better?
Not tackling the problem at its root, but just giving people the tools to deal with it when it occurs. As if that's gonna help.
They approached the classroom but did not enter, and when more gunfire is heard, they retreat. For more than an hour, dozens of heavily armed officers are seen waiting down the hall. One of them even uses hand sanitizer mounted on the wall. More than a
So, you may be asking yourself, what do we do? What do we do when faced with this issue? And I'm here to tell you this. It's not just presidential. As a matter of fact, the most important elections that you can arguably vote in are your House representative elections and your Senate elections. The way that the American system is designed is in a way to where the president, while they do have powers of their own, they largely have to rely on other branches of government to be able to carry out these powers, particularly the legislative branch. And we're currently in a situation where the Republican Party is in power in the House of Representatives by 1 seat. That's why I'm partnering with Progressive Victory to introduce you all to the tour to save our democracy. A multi-week long tour where Progressive Victory will be traveling across the nation, from Texas to the West Coast to the Midwest to New York, all the way down to Florida, to some of these key close races that can very easily flip. All it takes is 1 seat to flip, and Democrats can take the House majority. If we want to get work done, if we want proper change to come to this nation, we can't just focus on the presidential vote this year. We have to focus on getting candidates elected to the House of Representatives, to keeping the Senate, and potentially getting some progressive candidates elevated in that as well, to increase the vote share of people who share my and your values more than the typical average establishment Democrat. This is not an election about who's going to be pushing pencils, who's going to be collecting taxes. This is an election that will fundamentally determine whether or not we ever have another one in the future. To ensure that we are doing what needs to be done to save our democracy, we need to not only keep the presidency, we also need to take back the House, keep the Senate, and expand our majority. Now, some of you might be complaining that, well, Democrats have held the Senate before and held the House before 2022. How come nothing happened? Well, there's a key thing happening there. The 2 senators who were blocking everything from happening from the Democratic side, Kyrsten Sinema and Joe Manchin, aren't going to be standing for election. Meaning, if Democrats can keep those 2 seats and instead replace them with people who are more willing to fall in line, we might actually be able to get some work done. So, can we count on you to be there? If you're interested, go down below in the description, follow Progressive Victory on Twitter, and keep updated with the tour. All of the information that you need is down below in the description of this video. Also, please share it around. Download it if you can. Screen record it if you have to. Just get the message out any way that you can. Let's elect a party that doesn't have members that brag about killing puppies. Literally, let's elect a party that doesn't have representatives in Congress who believe that Jewish space lasers cause wildfires. Let's elect a party that can actually get things done in Congress instead of constantly removing their Speaker of the House. Let's make sure that we can actually get things done in this nation by making sure that we retake a trifecta, one that can actually function this time. Because I guarantee you, it's gonna look beautiful if we do. We need to make sure that we do it right this time, because we cannot afford to lose. Because if we do, we're not gonna have another chance. These are the stakes.
We must either love each other or we must die.
Hey, Bob.
What are your thoughts right now?
White House.
Thoughts right now?